Hello, and welcome in, you guys. Today's video features the brand new addition to the Regia Marina, Alberico da Barbiano, the brand new Tier 10 Italian heavy destroyer. The Barbiano is described in-game as originally one of the Alberto di Giussano class of cruisers, converted into a fast anti-aircraft ship in accordance with an unreleased project developed in 1938. The main feature of this proposed modernization was replacing the 152mm main battery guns with 16 90mm heavy anti-aircraft guns. This project, however, was never carried out, and Alberico da Barbiano was sunk in December of 1941 during the Battle of Cape Bon in her original configuration as a light cruiser. Now, Alberico will be available in the armory for 30,000 steel. Now, Alberico is quite a dangerous gunboat. You're able to get into positions quickly and apply extreme damage per minute from medium to close range. Now, careless cruisers and battleships who don't pay enough respect will soon find their hit points removed rapidly. You get the exhaust smoke generator and an excellent engine boost, giving you the tools to disengage when combat becomes unfavorable or when you get caught out of position. Now, you have to be very careful keeping track of enemy destroyers, as a surprise torpedo strike will quickly send Alberico down due to her poor maneuverability, and she really does feel like a brick. Classed as a destroyer, but definitely maneuvers like a cruiser. You really want to be playing in tandem with friendly destroyers to be able to efficiently combat enemy destroyers. You want to avoid any direct engagements. However, indirect engagements are going to be heavily stacked in favor. When you can isolate a destroyer wide alone on a flank, for example, they will become easy prey. So classified as a destroyer in World of Warships, Alberico da Barbiano is the largest one yet, with a unique main battery of 16 90mm guns and no torpedoes. You will only get semi-armor piercing shells, but she does feature an extremely high damage per minute with a reasonable shell penetration of 26mm, allowing her to damage enemy DDs, most cruisers and battleship superstructure. That isn't everything, however. Alberico also gets an alternative firing mode, allowing for greater flexibility against heavily armed targets, with an improved shell penetration of 34mm, but at the cost of a slightly longer reload. Now, in terms of survivability, a very high hit point pool and very fast speed allows Alberico to take quite a few punches, but her huge size, poor maneuverability and terrible concealment for a destroyer means you have to play with utmost caution. So rounding out her arsenal, Alberico has access to the traditional Italian exhaust smoke generator and a unique engine boost consumable with a rather short action time but with a bigger bonus, something similar to the French destroyers. So let me just put up the build that I am using here in this gameplay footage. I am using engine boost mod 1 in 2, propulsion mod. I have gone for concealment, it brings it down a bit, and main battery reload. I'm using the Sansonetti Captain, as you can clearly see from the shell colors. Pretty standard build. I've gone for reload and for range. You do have a bit of flexibility. You could go for a Fearless Brawler, but I have gone for this one during testing. Armor layout is quite basic, pretty standard, all over 19mm plating. You don't get any fancy plating on this. The superstructure is 13mm, just using the simple port screenshot here of the armor view. This ties into the survivability, 37,400 hit points with this build, incorporating survivability expert, of course. Now, you don't get a repair party, so it's a case of what you see is what you get. There is a 0% torpedo reduction, so be very, very wary of torpedoes. The Barbiano is a gunboat, and the guns are pretty solid. You really do get this machine gun effect. You get 16 of these single mounted 90mm guns. The turret to burst is excellent at just 14.8 seconds. The reload speed with the base firing mode is 2.5 seconds, with a max dispersion of 109 meters and a max firing range of 13.7 kilometers. The base firing mode will give you max damage of 2026 millimeters of penetration and a shell speed of 860 meters per second. The alternative modified shell fire mode will slow down your reload time by 23%, resulting in a 3.1 second reload. This, however, will improve your shell penetration up to 34 millimeters. 0.6 of a second slower reload for improved penetration. All the other shell ballistics remain the same in terms of dispersion, range, damage, shell speed. Everything is unchanged. So you sacrifice a tiny bit of reload speed for the improved pen. What this essentially means is anytime you've got a cruiser or a battleship in your sights, you want to be swapping mode to maximize your damage and penetration, unless it's a very light cruiser. Destroyers, however, they will get the full brunt of your 2.5 second reload for base firing mode with this 26mm. No torpedoes on the Barbiano, not much to say about this. In terms of ASW, get ship dropped depth charges. You get 2 charges with a max damage of 3,200 with 10 bombs per charge and a reload time of 40 seconds. In terms of AA defense, get a rating of 66. This equates to a continuous damage of 278, which is primarily long range. However, the max firing range 4.6. You do, however, get 8 shell explosions per flak salvo, which is pretty decent, with a max damage of 1606. The priority sector reinforcement is 35%, but however, the max firing range on this 4.6 kilometers. Yamagiri tries to run here, but we have superior speed, we have superior TPM, absolutely torn asunder by these trap shells. Another Jaeger down there. I'm going to have to chase him down. I can't let an enemy DD run amok in our spawn. Moving to Alberico da Barbiano's maneuverability. Currently a base speed of 39.6 knots. Now this can be improved with Sierra Mike to 41.6. Maneuvers like an absolute brick, as you can clearly see here. We take a torpedo from the Jaeger, and with the engine boost active, you gain an additional 15% speed in straight line speed, which equates to just under 48 knots. So very fast when in straight line speed mode with the engine boost activated. Just under 48. Now the turning circle radius in this game footage is 880 meters, but there is good news on this front. When the ship goes live, they are reducing the turning circle radius from 880 down to 760. Now this is a godsend. It's not going to solve the maneuverability issues, but it will make it marginally better. So just take this into consideration. The gameplay footage that you're watching currently, the turning circle radius is 880 meters, and that is going to be reduced down to 760 meters when the ship goes live. They are also going to reduce the number of engine boost charges from 5 to 4, and the duration of this engine boost will be increased from 80 seconds basis 80 seconds, which will be increased to 120 seconds. So very nice changes to the engine boost parameters and the turning circle radius. The rudder ship time is 6 seconds. So finally, stats-wise, the concealment of Alberico da Barbiano is 85, which equates to a surface detection range of 8 kilometers. Quite considerable. You will be surface detected by enemy submarines and aircraft at 3.7 kilometers. So this is the Alberico da Barbiano. It is a machine gun. These guns are incredible. Once you have targets in range and you can get your shells on target, you will literally strip away the enemy's hit points, no matter what you are shooting at. The challenge, however, is getting in and out of position intact and being able to keep these guns firing as much as possible. You can get games with decent cover, and combined with other destroyers, you can get considerable amounts of damage with these guns. Again, very challenging to play, especially countering enemy DDs. You're essentially taking up a destroyer slot in your team's roster, being forced to play as a light cruiser essentially. But however, once games develop, Alberico is capable of taking over that destroyer role, and especially when able to engage enemy DDs in isolation or one-on-one, he really can become a true monster. So thank you very, very much indeed everyone for watching this preview guide. I hope you found some useful information, and consider subscribing to the channel to not miss out on future videos. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. I look forward to seeing you all. The Jaeger foolishly decides he's going to try and gunfight, and then rapidly changes his mind and decides to flee. Turn side, trying to get more of our guns to bear. Does get undetected, but that is not going to save him. All we have to do is run him down. So we straighten up, we go straight for his last position. Engine boost is still active. He simply can't outrun us. It's only a matter of time. He is forced to flee. He is unable to launch torps because he has to keep sailing in a straight line to try and evade us. We must be getting quite close. There he is. As anticipated, he's in flee mode. We're just going to keep our front guns on him so we close the distance. And we gun him down relentlessly. Just with our front guns in this case. And the Jaeger dies. Now, that was the end of the action essentially in this match. I'll just let it play out and show you the end screens. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it, guys.